Now to induct a new member into the Skippers Hall of Fame. The Skippers Hall of Fame recognizes outstanding achievement by the alumni in the arts, academics, and athletics. This year's inductee is Marty Benson from the class of 1963. Marty was our school's very first state champion, winning the 880-yard race in 155.7 in 1963. His win slashed 2.2 seconds from the 21-year state record. It was only his second year running. After graduation, Marty went to Mankato State on a track scholarship and became one of Mankato State's best runners in an All-American. Introducing Marty Benson is his former classmate, Bruce Tridon.
I'm Bruce Tridon, class of 1963. I am very honored to be asked to say a few words about Marty Benson, who has been inducted into the Skipper Hall of Fame for his athletic achievements. Marty was my next-door neighbor and classmate starting in 4th grade. He was a quiet guy who liked to be by himself, but at the same time he had lots of friends. I never heard anyone say a bad word about Marty, and he never said a bad word about anybody else. Before Marty became a track star, he was perhaps best known for his dancing skills. We were jealous that he attracted all the pretty girls with his dancing. Once Marty got involved in track, it became a passion. He had a ritual when he was going out for a run. He would sit on the front steps to put on his shoes, shake himself loose, and head down the road, always the same route. We used to kid him that he had an unfair advantage as a runner because he had weird-looking feet that must be the key to his success. I will let the next speaker talk about Marty's track career. Although we are honoring Marty Benson today for his athletic success, there is a more important thing to know about him. He was a lieutenant in the Marine Corps, decorated for bravery, and killed in action while piloting a helicopter in Vietnam. Unfortunately, this was not the first tragedy for the Benson family. Marty's older brother drowned when he was 10 years old, and Marty's dad was partially crippled in a car accident. Marty always said that he was going to be a pilot in the military. I am sure this desire was driven by the fact that his dad had been a Navy fighter pilot. After graduating from Mankato State, Marty joined the Marine Corps, went through flight training, and later deployed to Vietnam. He was well aware that the life expectancy of a Marine helicopter pilot was horrible, but it was what he wanted to do. On February 5th, 1970, he was wounded by ground fire while trying to land his helicopter during a reconnaissance mission. He was medevaced to the USS Repose hospital ship. A classmate of ours, Bill Van Dyke, was serving in Vietnam and heard about Marty's injury. Bill got a pass to go to the Repose. On arrival, he found that Marty had died the day before, 3 weeks after he was injured. Marty was just 24 years old.
Excuse me, might have a little trouble here getting through this, but I'll try the best I can. I'm going to introduce right now Jennifer Sturgis, who was Marty's niece, who she just showed up today, finally. Please stand up. Actually, we've been looking for her and her brother Marty for a while to actually do what I'm going to try to do here. Marty started running for me in the fall of '61. Never having run before, football and baseball did not seem to fit him too well, and Ida Anderson encouraged him to come out and say, "Why don't you try track?" So he came, and I'm going to have to cheat with my glasses here a little bit. He came out for cross country that first year, was like 39th in the region. And at the end of the spring of 1962, he had run a 2:02 half mile. Now, for anyone familiar with track, that's quite an accomplishment. It was an amazing accomplishment. I then went for graduate school to the East Coast And Marty then ran cross country in the fall of '63, just missing the state. We were in contact back and forth at that time. And then in the spring of '63, he started to break 2 minutes regularly. Main opponent was from St. Louis Park, Bob Wagner, and Marty finally beat him in the region finals, and also, as you may know, won the state meet in 155.7, which is 2.2 seconds better than the record set 21 years ago from that date. We had no track at Minnetonka at that time. All of his training was done on, well, those of you who are here, it was just sort of a quagmire down there next to the football field with ruts and everything. And after he won that state, the school board decided maybe we need a track. And so the track that was there was a track that Marty built. So I'm on the East Coast in graduate school, and trying to get a hold of Marty. I didn't have a cell phone at that time, as you might imagine. There were no computers, internet, etc. So I get back to my dorm one day, and underneath the door is a telegram. And it said, "Where do I go from here?" Well, I emailed him back and said, "You can go anywhere you want." He actually had a scholarship to the University of Minnesota that he turned down to go to Mankato and run for Bud Myers. Fantastic coach. They had a fantastic program in those days. He liked the lower key situation. He was captain of the track team and cross-country team, lettered all 4 years in both sports, set a record 153.3, and graduated with a degree in 4 years. And then, as Bruce Trident said, we know what happened after that. I contacted a few of the people, runners that ran with him. What kind of a guy was he? Inspiring, humble, kind, encouraging. Doesn't get much better than that. As Marty's coach, and I just coached him for the one year, and then I was gone. The most impressive thing about him, or one of the most impressive things, was his attitude. And those who knew him knew that he was like a frisky colt. I mean, everything was positive, and he was go, 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 and that really helped him. Because when he started out, he was just a very average runner, and by the time he was done in less than 18 months, he'd set all kinds of records. And that was because of his spirit and his attitude. When I came back, I was able to reconnect with Marty and his family. They lived right across from Groveland School. Wonderful people. Unfortunately, they've all passed on now. So as I stand here, I just say I'm thankful for the opportunity to accept this award for Marty, Father Joe, Mother Lois, and his sister Kathy. Thank you very much.